Welcome back to another installment of the Mogul Room, a VIP media experience brought to you by Budding Media Moguls. My name is thesamarahpoe, and today we are here with Miss Alyse Nichole.
Hi.
Hey, girl.
I'm excited to be here.
Well, you know what? I'm excited to have you. So for those of you who don't know, I had the honor, the pleasure of interviewing Miss Alyse Nichole a couple of months ago at an event called The Leader Heat, right?
Yeah.
Now you have a album
I do.
that's dropping soon. And I went back, I watched our interview, and you know what? Last time we spoke, you said, yeah, I'm dropping an album next year.
Yep.
So be ready to, you know what I'm saying? Be ready to jump into it. And you dropping the album this year.
I am. I'm 2 weeks from now, I guess. From today, yeah.
Yes.
I'm excited.
Okay, and it's called what? A Trip to the West.
Trip to the West.
A Trip to the West.
Yeah.
So I got to, I got the exclusive, the sneak peek, you know what I'm saying? And listening to the album really did make me feel like I was on the West Coast. So
I'm good. I'm good. I'm happy you said that.
I love LA. I love LA. I've been wanting to move to LA for for as long as I can remember. I was born on the West Coast. So I feel like a piece of my heart stayed out there.
What part were you born?
I was born in San Diego.
Okay, period. Okay, period.
And so with that, though, I thought that listening to your album really took me on a journey through the different parts of the West, right? Now, I noticed that you said you were raised in LA, right? But what you said, there was Inglewood was mentioned, South Central.
So, how do I break this down? I was kind of raised all over.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, but I would say my main residence is Inglewood, really Ladera Heights, but no one really knows where Ladera Heights is. We call it the Black Beverly Hills. But I grew up in Inglewood with my two parents at the time, and then one day my parents just did not work out. So my mom moved back with her parents, and they live in South Central. So that's kind of like where Crenshaw and Slauson meet. So where Nipsey kind of references the rolling 60s, we live in the 30s. So it's kind of like, for those people that are from LA, they know where that is, like Jefferson Park area. And I would just go back and forth from there for early childhood. And then around like middle school-ish, I went to school in Beverly Hills. And that's where like the bouginess kind of like integrated with everything.
I was just about to say, so it sounds like these are all very different areas that you're growing up in, right?
Yeah.
So you got to see, a little bit of the dark side of LA, a little bit, and then you got to see some of the rich,
I always tell people I got the best of both worlds because it's like I grew up in the hood and I also grew up in like the suburbs and not in the hood. So like when people meet me, they think like, oh, she's prissy. I'm like, no, we could get gangsta if you want to. Like, if we could get like that. Like, I don't bang, but what's good? Like,
what's up?
We don't like. That's what I'm saying. Like, so I think people when I tell them that, they understand. Like, they get me just a little bit more.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. I still prefer the bougie side though. Like, I feel like that's just me.
Yes.
It doesn't.
So to dive into that bougie side, right? Like, I know you're saying like it kind of came in through when you moved to Beverly Hills.
I didn't move.
Oh, well, when you went to school in Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
So was there like an original Boujie Queen in your life?
My grandmother.
Right? Your grandmother?
My grandmother.
Tell me about your grandma.
So she's a lawyer. She's a family attorney. Shout out to Miss Linda Sheridan if she ever sees this. She's an attorney, and she's just been a powerhouse in my whole life, basically. I don't think I probably would have came this far if it wasn't for her. And I'm just very, very grateful for her in my life. And she's just like,
and that was when you moved, or when you were back and forth, you moved with your mom?
So my dad's mom is my grandmother. My life is so complicated, guys. So my mom is Caribbean. She's Belizean. So my Belizean family is South Central. And then Ladera Heights, Inglewood is my dad and my grandmother. It was just, he was the only child. So my mom's side, I have a whole bunch of like Caribbean roots. And then my dad's side, I'm just, African-American.
Yeah.
So she got involved with my school life a lot when it came to deciding where I was going to go to school, because we did live in neighborhoods where like the schools weren't that great.
Yeah.
So we had to come up with some sort of way, wink, wink, of how to get me into better
That
schools.
address change, y'all.
Yeah. For those that know, they know.
No,
So
we know.
we, what's it called? She was living in Beverly Hills and somehow got me into schools over there. And that's where the what's the word I'm trying to say?
That bougie influence kind of.
Yeah, pretty much. Like that was like, I was around a lot of Jewish kids and
more
Caucasian
affluent families.
Yeah. So I was living with her for like a good 2 years, but I was still back and forth with my parents. So like Monday through Friday, I was like with her, and then Saturday, Sunday, I would go to my parents' house.
Wow. So to constantly, and it's like you were in a constant like.
I was always moving.
I'm always moving, and then always seeing both sides. Like it really crafted you at the same time. Like you got that hustle mentality, but then you also got the I'm a hustle to get what I'm seeing.
Right.
Monday through Friday.
Because I wasn't like I'm not rich. Like we're not rich. Like we're good, but like we're still not like, I don't know, how do I say, what's like, we're not Bill Gates. I mean, I don't think anyone's Bill Gates around. But
hey, Bill Gates, let me get some Bill Gates money. But no, I mean, I get it. I feel you. It's you know what I'm saying? You got to see something to aspire to, though.
Right. Yeah, because she's worked her ass off. Like,
yeah.
But then again, my mom still is in like South Central. So I'm like, okay, how am I here? And then I'm also going to school here. And then I feel like a lot of people didn't like, in my life, they didn't realize like, it was kind of like, when I went to school with those kids, I didn't want them coming to my house, like to my parents' house, because I just felt like they were going to see the wrong, like not the wrong side, but they were going to try to paint a different picture of me. And it always just made sense. Like, yeah, I live with my grandmother like down the street from my school. And, you know, I eventually moved. I was going to go to high school in Beverly Hills, but some BS happened. So yeah, I didn't do it. I didn't do it
for another day.
Yeah, it wasn't my fault. But yeah, so that's when I kind of like transitioned to Catholic schools and stuff. But yeah, girl, I've been all over the place. Yeah. I was all over the place. I was in Westwood. I was at Beverly Hills. Then I went to Santa Monica. Then I went to.
But here's the thing. I think that makes for you're more cultured, right? On the West Coast, on LA, and all the different kinds of, you know, California that you could be. Right. And so I think that I hear that in the music, right? Yeah. So like, for example, when I was listening to your album, I felt like I was kind of going on like a journey, right? I was going on a journey, and it felt like, you know, I was maybe in one area of LA at first, and then I felt like I was like, you know, speeding down the highway, you know what I'm saying? Hanging out the window, having fun. And I think that, you know, again, listening to the album, A Trip to the West, I felt like I was on a trip. Like I really felt like I was like
on a trip.
I was going to the places that, you know, you existed and that you like pulled inspiration from.
Yeah, I was trying to draw from like, so I have a song called Boujie on there. Like that one's like really like kind of like the Beverly Hills Alyse, so like the bougie side. And then like I have like the intro song, not the intro song, going up, like that was kind of like the South Central Alyse, like kind of hustle mentality. And then like it was just a lot of like areas that I just experienced that I was just like, I can't just rap or talk about one area because I'm not even from one area. It doesn't even feel like I grew up basically all over. Like
your soul is in this album for real.
It really is. And I really hope people like see that and hear that when they listen, because it's just like, you're really on a trip. Like, you're really on a trip. Like, I'm going to take you to Inglewood, and I'm going to take you to South Central, and I'm going to take you to Beverly Hills, and then we also can go to Santa Monica if you want to. Like, I really think that makes me a Cali girl, though. Like, and you know what's crazy is, like, I still need my GPS to get around when I go there, to drive around. Because, I don't know. I be in Atlanta too much now, so, you know.
How often do you go back to LA?
I would say like 2 to 3 times a year. Okay. Just because like the work is in Atlanta.
Yeah. How long have you been out here?
Well, I came out here for school So 2019. So this will be my fifth year.
Okay.
Yeah. But I would also go back every year. So like every spring break, every Christmas, all that stuff. I would go
She
back.
said, I'm going home.
Yeah, and my family misses me too.
Mhm.
So they'll get mad at me if I don't visit them at least once a year. I'm just like, why ain't not for be here? I'm like, sorry, I'm coming, Grandma.
I'm coming.
I'm sorry, I'm coming to see you.
So I want to talk a little bit more about, you know what I'm saying, exploring what this album looks like and what it kind of means to you, right? So there were some skits that were included in the album, and I thought that was like a pretty cool listening experience because, you know, I'm vibing, I'm hearing the sounds, and then I'm like, Little Booties Matter. I'm like, what is this skit? But I loved it. I feel like it brought a different kind of life. It gave like a different dimension. And it continued to kind of build this LA world, right? That you're creating. So talk to me a little bit about like these skits. Like, why did you choose to include them?
So I wanted to include the skits because the skits actually were inspiration of old albums from LA. So like for those that have listened to YG, he's actually had like some skits in his albums, and it would just be him in the hood and see what happens in the hood. So like I was never gang affiliated, but I lived in the hood, so I would obviously see and hear that types of stuff. And I had just not I just didn't see a lot of like LA artists really coming out with full bodies of work that kind of like resembled that. And then I just didn't see a lot of LA artists coming out with LA music or it being highlighted like that. So I wanted to, when people come to a trip to the West, I'm like, well, if you come to South Central, this day you probably gonna hear like catch my fade.
I heard the accents.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, we're in the West Coast.
I was like, I want to take people on a trip. Also the Little Booties Matter skit. So that was on the platform Judge Soul London.
Yes.
And I drew that from the Little Booties Matter line. I had put in the song Round of Applause. By the way, y'all, that's out.
One of my favorites.
Yeah.
By the way,
go check that out.
One of my favorites.
But surprisingly, so LA has a lot of like healthy food. So the women out there are actually really skinny. So to have a big butt in LA is kind of like, I wouldn't call it abnormal, but you're just not used to seeing that.
It's not Atlanta.
It's not thank you. It's not Atlanta. So I was like, Little Booties Matter. Like when I moved out here, I was like, oh, I don't have a big butt no more. Cause I had one of the big, like in LA, I have one of the big butts. So I was like, oh, I'm not competing with these women out here. Okay, cool. But I was like, you know what? Since we're going to LA, like I'm gonna give the little booties some shine.
Little booties matter.
They do matter.
I speak from experience.
Thank you. Cause like I had cupcake buns that you could still grab on.
Okay, like, cupcake buns.
But yeah, and so I just also want to add some comedy into the album. Yeah. I think a lot of people associate me being funny sometimes. So I was like, some comedy in this album, make people laugh.
Again, like part of your soul. Like this is not just a trip to the West, but this is a journey of discovering who Alyse Nichole is.
Yeah, and because it's my debut album too, I want people to understand, like, because this is just only the beginning. Like, we gonna be around for a very, very long time.
Very long time.
We taking spots around here, girl. So I really wanted, like, because I also want to like be able to, when I do reach that mainstream level, like I want people to come back to this album and be like, wow, like she really was putting on for California. Like she really was trying to be the face for LA. So we had like someone representing us in the female rap world. And that's what I really wanted to happen. I was like, I think this is it. When I was done with the album, I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm nervous, but I'm done.
When did you start recording?
This took about a year. Okay. So my process kind of goes like, I try to figure out what I want to do. I was like, okay, I'm ready to drop an album. What do I want to make my album about? And I was like, I'm not hearing a lot of LA music. I'm not seeing a lot of girls make LA music. So, you know what? I'm from LA. I've been in multiple parts of LA. I'm gonna try. And I started just by with one song. Actually, Round of Applause was like the heart of the song. I mean, heart of the album. So I was like,
get a round of applause.
Yeah, I was like, giving it a round of
my
applause.
favorites, I swear.
So
and then Cali Swag too. But go ahead.
So yeah, like Round of Applause was the heart, and I was like, okay, let me build around this. So then I started getting with other producers, and I started collabing with Cali producers. Shout out Yike Mike. I did work with a Atlanta producer called what's his name? Abe. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Porthras? I don't know. Sorry, Abe. But he actually helped me do the song "The West." The riding down the streets. That one. That was one of my favorite songs, by the way. And I was like, I want to make a Cali sounding album. What do you have for me? And we just started from scratch. And I was like, I gave him some reference tracks and see what he could do. And then I started writing in the studio. And then from there, it just kept adding on. And then I asked more producers for beat packs and just kind of drawing from everybody and seeing what I could add to it. And I mean, it just kind of came all together, and I was like, okay. There was some throwaways, some songs I was like, there was one song I was gonna put on there, and then I was like, I don't like it like that to put it on there anymore. Yeah. So I just left it off, but it was called On the Dead Homies. Oh, shit. But it wasn't gonna be like on no violent stuff. It was, you would have to hear it to understand it. But but yeah, I was just, that was like, it kind of like all came together. And then I think I wrapped writing and recording around like October, November of 2023. So I started like, really, when did Round of Applause come out? August 2023. So I would say like, it took me about maybe 6-7 months to write it, record it, get everything together.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that is it. I feel like that is a good chunk of time. And so I want to kind of speak to like the hustle that's involved in that, right? Because, you know, some people take years on their albums. Some people take, you know, a couple weeks, really. Like that process for you, did you feel like it was like hustle mode, like grind mode, like when you were trying to piece all the things together?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a Taurus. I like to get things done. I like to get things done. Like, I don't like to wait. Like, I do procrastinate, but for some reason, I always get it done.
Period.
So I was just like, I want to wrap this up because by this time, I knew I wanted to drop in May of 2024 because I was like, I'm turning 23. It's going to be my Jordan years. It's going to be Kobe year. I used to play basketball too. So I think that also goes into the hustle mentality.
Yeah.
And my dad has like instilled like this like grind, and this is like, you gotta go get it or no one's gonna give it to you. Like, you go get it or you're not getting anything. So that's what I was kind of like, I have to get this done. I have to get this done. I said I was gonna do this. Oh, he also told me finish what you start. So I was like, okay, I started this, I'm gonna finish it. If it sucks, it sucks, but at least I can say,
at least I say I
did
it.
I finished it. Right.
Oh, and I love that so much because I feel like one of the biggest things that I try to, you know, speak to my community about is that you gotta jump. Like, you gotta jump. There's a whole lot of people who talk a whole lot about doing a whole lot of things, but don't never do nothing.
Right.
And so I'm always really appreciative of somebody who has that hustle mentality, that grind mentality, that, hey, even if it isn't perfect this time around, I'm going to put it out there, get it out there, learn the things that I need to learn so that next time we do this, you know, the next time that we come back around and we do this, it's just even better. It's that much better for it.
Right. And I've learned so much on this journey. Guys, an album is so expensive. So if you want to put out an album, if you want like the amount of attention that you think the album should get, like, it's very expensive, especially as an independent artist. Like, I think a lot of people think I'm signed too, and I'm not. People think I'm like, oh, your sound is so good. Or like, you must be signed. I'm like, no, girl, I just been working for 5 years and I've been having good people around my team, and I just made sure that things are of quality. I love quality. quality over quantity for me is everything.
I mean, and it's representative of your brand. You know
That too. I'm the Boujie Queen. I need to have quality, girl.
Exactly.
Like, y'all gonna wait, but when you get it, you gonna be happy you waited. It's gonna be worth it. It's gonna be worth it. And I was like, yes, it needs to be worth it. So yeah, that was just how I do things. And yeah.
So really quickly, we're wrapping, you know what I'm saying? But I want to learn a little bit more about your community, the Boujie Bulls, right? Is that because, you know, you're a Taurus? Is the Bulls thing?
So it started off like that.
Okay.
So obviously the bouginess is because
you're the Boujie Queen.
I'm the Boujie Queen.
Okay.
And mind you, I did not give that name to myself. So that kind of developed over time too. Yeah. So I was like, okay, well, everyone keeps calling me Boujie. Like, well, I'm a queen too, so what's good? And then the Bulls, yes, obviously a Taurus bull, but I also used to be called the Bulldog when I played basketball. So I was like, I'm gonna play off of that as well. And I think being a bull is just like headstrong. I'm not taking no for no answer. Like, if you tell me no, I'm gonna go create my own table. You can't, like,
yes.
There is no stopping me.
Yeah.
There is no stopping me. I move at my own pace when I want to, how I want to. And if you don't like it, well, I don't care.
You better get out the way, because we going to keep it going.
Yeah, you're going to get bulldozed. What's good?
Period. I love it. I love it. Okay, so as we wrap, you know what I'm saying? We're talking to our viewers now. Where can they find you at? When is your album dropping?
Yeah, so guys, Trip to the West is dropping May 24th. 2024. When is this dropping? The interview. Is it already out? It already might be out by the time.
It might be out.
We're gonna see.
If it's not, the 24th.
The 24th of May. And you guys can follow me at Alyse Nichole. That's IMALYSENICHOLE. All one word on Instagram and Twitter. Streaming platforms. Don't put the just do Alyse Nichole. That's very simple. And yeah. Oh, also AlyseNichole.com. Go check that out, because we got some merch for y'all too.
I was on the website earlier.
Got the little Booties Matter shorts.
Yeah, and look, I'm gonna cop me a pair. Y'all ain't gonna see it, but you know, I'm gonna cop me a pair.
Not got no little booties. Stop playing with me.
You know what I'm saying? You know, little booties matter.
Little booties do matter, and big booties matter too.
They do, but you know, we talk about the little booties right now.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to say thank you again so much to everybody who is joining us here in the Mogul Room. Thank you so much, Alyse, for being a part of this experience.
The Mogul Room is like the best room.
Oh, I'm going to use it. The Mogul Room is the best room.
Yeah.
Well, make sure that you guys continue to check us out. We are here at Budding Media Moguls. Tune in, tap in, follow, subscribe, listen, learn, all the good things.
Subscribe to her, guys. You don't want to miss it.
Period. Bye.